Ben Arfa all the way. What a goal! Hassan Ben Arfa! A magnificent goal! Cisse. Oh, that is sensational! Happy Cisse.
مساء الخير جميعا. يتجدد لقاءنا الأسبوعي مع برنامج نيوكاسل مع وليد. نرحب بضيف هذه الليلة السيد مارتن بيلي. Good evening everyone. Welcome to LW Newcastle show, Newcastle with Alwaleed. I would like to welcome our guest tonight, Mr. Martyn Bailey.
Martyn
Hi guys.
grew up on south coast of England after his grandparents moved from Newcastle to Brighton after the war in late 1940s. But they're still loyal to Newcastle United and supported as a family-first team. His obsession for Newcastle United started with the stories he heard about Kevin Keegan from his father and his grandfather within the years, and he witnessed Newcastle United win almost won the PL season 1959. Music passion started in the school. Martyn started the journey to his dreams to become a pop star. In 2000s, he was in a tribute band, starting to write songs too. In 2013, he recorded his first solo album, Red Sky Supernova, which includes the song Little Lie Song. In 2014, Martyn signed by Warner Chappell, which releases the official album with the new title Gravity Zero. His second album, Dolls, released in 2015, and now working for his third album, and we wish you a great luck.
Yeah, Martyn, it's a pleasure to be with us tonight.
And you guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you tonight with us. Let's start with your passion of music. When was that start? When and where? I believe there is a girl in the story.
A girl? Yes. So
right,
yeah,
huh?
I was about 10 years old really at school and struggling quite a bit at school. As a child, you sometimes do, trying to find out who you are, what you want to be, and kids can be quite brutal, in terms of picking on you. And I had a lot of that happening with me really. So I was quite sort of unsure of myself, and other children picking on me. So I didn't really like that much, and I was very sort of timid and not very confident. And then I just thought I wasn't into music at the time. I wasn't into it at all until I was, like I said, 10 years old. It was nearly Christmas, and the teacher said to bring in a record from home you want to play and bring into class on the last day of term, and then we'll all, all the children, we can all listen to it, and then you would do like a quiz and you can guess what instruments are in each song that the kids bring in that we play. So I can't remember what song I brought in. I just bought something that my dad gave me. I think it might have been a Cliff Richard song or something. So I had no clue about music. And anyway, it was the last day of term. The day came, we brought the songs in, and then I was sitting there, and a girl took up a cassette of songs she recorded off the radio. And when she pressed play, I could... just the start of it, I was just transfixed at the time. I heard like a piano play, and then when the singer started to sing, it gave me goosebumps, and I thought, oh my word, what is this? I've never felt like this. And the song continued, and it was so powerful, and the instruments in it, and I think there was violins in it, and I just was absolutely just blown away by this guy's voice and the music, and I thought, I've got to know what this is. So school ended, and I rushed out of school, and I was singing it over in my head trying to think, trying to remember it in my head, singing it over and over. And I ran to the nearest record store, which wasn't far away from the school because there were some shops near the school. And I ran in there and I said to the guy, I said, do you know what this song is? Do you know what this song is? He says, what are you talking about? And I said, I'll sing it to you. And I said, touch me. How can it be? He said, that's Aha, the sun always shines on TV. And I said, is it? I said, oh, how much is it? He says, no, you sung it, mate, and that took a lot of courage to sing it. So he said, here, have a copy for free. And he gave me a copy of the 7-inch single at the time, 7-inch record. And I took it home and I just played it to death. I just realised this band is Aha. And when I actually saw them, the video, they released another song which I hadn't heard of, which was Take On Me, which was the first song before The Sun Always Shines on TV. And when I saw the video, they were like, I don't know if you've seen the video, it's like a comic book character, and he comes to life and he pulls the girl into the comic book. And I just thought, this band as well, they just look like, like movie stars as well. And they just absolutely blew me away, and I started to really get into them, to cut a long story short. And Morten Harket as a singer, and became an idol to me. And I started to dress like him, and I found out later on that I could sing like him. So that gave me a lot of confidence going into secondary school. So I felt amazing, and I thought, this is what I want to do. I want to write music as good as this. So that's how I got into music. Then I started getting into other bands, like at the time, that Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, Simple Minds, U2, and I sort of grew my music knowledge. It wasn't just about Aha; it was about these other great bands, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create music that made me feel how I did back as that 10-year-old boy. That was absolutely, didn't really listen to music, and then all of a sudden was awoken by this sound. And, it's very special. And I wanted to try and create a new sound myself and, give to other people. And, hopefully they listen to it and they want to become a musician.
Well, what about the competition between you, I think, and Nitram, if I'm not mistakenly? Nitram.
That's right. Yeah. So when I was, how old was I? It was 1994. So I was 21. So I just left college, and I started a band up, an original band, but we sung covers as well. But we started writing original material. We called ourselves Nitram, which was Martyn backwards. Which they thought that.
I see. Okay.
So they thought that was a cool. They thought that was a cool band name. So we were called Nitram, and we entered this competition to be for one song to be recorded, and then if you were lucky enough, you get it listened and reviewed by Phil Collins. And we were lucky when we sent it in. We were one of the ones that were lucky enough to be reviewed by Phil Collins, and I think he gave us 7 out of 10. So it was very special to actually have a song, as a kid growing up, sort of early 20s, to have that reviewed by a top megastar performer such as Phil Collins, and to give it 7 out of 10. So that was nice.
During making the biography, we have difficulty in saying the name of the band, Aha Therapeut. How it's pronounced?
What? Who? Aha.
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 Yeah.
Ah.
So it's like. Yeah. So it's like when you find something. For me, when it's an English sort of word, really. If you find something or you're looking for something, you go, "Oh, aha! I found it," that kind of thing, or "Aha! There it is."
Nice.
Come on.
Very cool.
We even use it. Aha.
Aha.
Yeah.
ايه صح نقول اها.
Yeah.
We say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly. What I wondering, يعني I notice you write songs, you sing as well. So where do you find yourself, or which you like more, singing or writing?
Well, I'm getting a bit long in the tooth now. I love writing songs. So I'd like to write songs for someone else. So any big stars that like my songs, I'd love for them to take one of them on, or write for stars or for TV adverts, that kind of thing. I love writing. So, but obviously, performing as well. I got the bug because yeah, it's just lovely to, when you perform in front of an audience, if they're getting something out of it, it's the most rewarding feeling, knowing that you're giving them, you know, this magical feeling. You can see it in their eyes, or, you know, their body language, you know, they're responding to what you're doing. It's the most amazing feeling, especially if it's one of your own songs as well. You know, and they know it and they're singing along. I think that's the most amazing thing that you can have happen as an artist, is to have a crowd sing along to one of your songs that you've written. So it's kind of both really, hand in hand. But, you know, I'm not interested in making it big time and going out and doing loads of, because I've got a young family, you know, I don't want to go touring and stuff like that. I'd rather, you know, write and get my music into TV or film or adverts and do it that way.
We'll come later to the songs, but I just want to ask you this: your songs, the one in the albums, you writing your songs, or it's mixed? Some writers, or it's all yours?
No, well, I was in a covers band called The Channel later on in my 30s, 40s, and we did covers. But then I started to write, and I used to write with them, and we wrote 2 or 3 songs, and they were credited on the first album, but the rest of the songs are mine. But I started off that way. I sort of wrote most of it, or I'd write the lyrics, but some of the guys in the band at the time would write the music, and we'd club it all together. But I think that only happened for 2 or 3 songs, because it was supposed to be a journey as a band, but because we've all got kids and trying to work, we had, you know, real jobs as well, trying to juggle that all around and write whole album together, we just didn't have the time to do it. So I asked them if they minded, you know, look, I've got a bit of time, would you mind if I just went off on my own and did it? And, you know, they said, yeah, no, that's fine, you know, because we're never going to have time to do it as a band, so go ahead. So that's what I did. So the songs we'd already written, I took away and credited them for them, you know, with myself, and then the next 6 or 7 songs, they were all mine, so it made a whole album. So I released the first album, Red Sky Supernova, but then it became Gravity Zero when I got signed. So yeah.
Okay, picture and stories, Alwaleed.
All right. Now, Martyn, we will have some pictures. We will show you some pictures, and you have you can, if you want to pass, you can say pass. If you don't want to comment on
just
the
say
picture,
pass.
Yeah. You know, so let's start with the first one. Okay.
Yeah, Kieran Dyer. Yeah, fantastic player when he was fit, bless him. He had a very short-lived career, really, at Newcastle. He was always injured, bless him, because he was so quick. He was such a quick player, so skillful. He kept pulling his hamstring all the time. So he had so many operations as well. And every time he got back, he got fit again. He'd be in a real live game, and then every time he gave that extra sprint, you know, he'd get injured again. And I remember he had one of these injuries, and I was on holiday at the time in Falaraki in Greece, and I met a great bunch of Geordie lads over there who I'm still friends with now. Anyway, we were in some bar one night, and they all dashed over to the other side of the bar, and I thought, what are they doing? And I went over there, and there's Kieran Dyer there. You know, he was on his own, but he was looking very sheepish, because obviously the Geordie boys who I met over there, the Newcastle fans, they were having a go at him, saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be injured, man." They were saying, "What you doing here?" They were saying, "You know, you shouldn't be here. You should be recovering." You know. So he took his shirt off and showed the tattoo of Newcastle on his back. He had a great big Newcastle logo on his back. You know, the badge. And he was showing Kieran Dyer, saying, "Look, that's commitment, mate. That's commitment. You should be at home.
For life.
You should be at home recovering, not on holiday." So yeah, that was a funny story. It's good.
Cool. Second one.
Rob Lee. Yeah, fantastic midfielder. Yeah, you know, this is someone we could do with now, really. Someone Rob Lee, just so professional, and just always puts in a graft. You know, I know the fans have been talking a lot about John Joe Shelby recently, and I tend to agree. He seems to be a bit hit and miss with his performances, but Rob Lee could just always rely on. He was just solid and just scored some fantastic goals for us. Yeah, love him, and he's a great captain as well. Miss him. The man Shearer. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Big Al. Yeah, number one. Yeah. Yeah, so met him as well, and Rob, but only sort of queuing up to get his signature. I'm afraid there's not sort of there's no sort of juicy stories on Alan Shearer. I'm afraid he's a very professional guy, great guy. But yeah, when I met him, I was a bit starstruck when he was giving me his old signature. I said, "You're gonna bang one in for me today, Al?" And he said, "I'll try, son." That was and that was it. But yeah, great guy. Can't see who that is. Oh yeah, Obafemi Martins. Yeah, fantastic. So it's a good story then. So I took my girlfriend, who's now my wife, to a Newcastle game one weekend, and I took her mother and father as well. So the future in-laws. So we went to Newcastle on the Friday, and on the Friday night before the game, we went to a posh Italian restaurant down on the quayside. I can't remember what it's called. We're sitting there. We just ordered our food, and I said, "Right, I really need the loo." So I went to the toilet, and as I went in the toilet, there's Obafemi Martins in there in the toilet, obviously just finishing doing his business. And and I suddenly I suddenly shook his hand, before he washed his hands. But that's never mind. And then I was like that, and went right, and then we both washed our hands, which is quite funny. And then I said, really looking forward to the game, Oba. So his name Oba for short. And he said, I'm not playing. I said, what? He goes, I've come all this way to see you play. I brought the girlfriend. I said, I brought the future, in-laws, and you're not playing. And I said, oh, I'm gutted. He goes, what? I said, what's the matter? He said, I'm injured. I said, oh yeah. He goes, yeah, I've got a sore leg. I said, I'm injured. And I said, oh no, I'm gutted. I've come all this way. I was so hoping to see you play, but no, it wasn't to be. But at least I get to meet him. That I came out of the toilet and said to my wife to be, and the parent-in-law said to them, look, never do I just met in the toilet. I've just met Obafemi Martins, the striker, in the toilet, but he's injured. He's not playing tomorrow. I'm gutted. And anyway, I don't think we won. We drew 1-1. I think in the end we drew 1-1. I think it was. I can't remember who it was against, but yeah, we drew 1-1. We didn't win, so I was a bit gutted.
Did he wash his hand after all? No.
Yeah, we both washed our hands. Yeah.
Cool. That's important. All right.
Especially at the moment.
Yeah, of course.
Nick Van Eed. Yeah, this is a big pop star. Actually, he was big in the 80s. He was in a band called the Cutting Crew, and they did a really big song called they're probably most famous for is "I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight." People probably watching will know what that is. So yeah, I met him at a friend's dinner party. Actually, we're at a dinner party with some friends, got invited over, and he was one of the guests. And I didn't recognise him, didn't know who he was, and I was playing video games with him. That was part of the night. We were playing like the bowling, the Wii bowling on the Wii, Nintendo Wii. We were playing the bowling game, and there was other couples there, and then we sat down to have some takeaway, and they said, oh, Nick, when are you next performing? And I said, oh, you're performing? He says, yes. And they said, don't you know who this is? I said, no. They said, this is Nick Van Eed. And oh, you're joking. So I know Nick Van Eed. And my wife said, who? She said, and I said, Nick Van Eed, from Cutting Crew. He sung "I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight." And then my missus, that's one of her favourite songs. She was always passed out at the table. Couldn't believe she was sitting at the same table as the guy that sung and wrote that song. And so we just got chatting. I told him that I was doing music and that, and I sent him my first album. I've done my first album by then. and we exchanged email addresses, and I sent him my album, and he absolutely loved it. He said he was really blown away by it. So that was a lovely thing, you know, praise to get back from someone of that stature. You know, it's so good. Gary Speed and Bobby Robson, very special photo that, because they've both passed away. God bless them.
Yeah,
but yeah, Sir Bobby, what an amazing manager. But Gary Speed, again, what an amazing player he was. You know, such a playmaker, and you know, scorer of goals as well with his head, with his feet, great left foot. You know, just still can't believe he's gone. To be fair, he's such a great player, and great guy. Warner Chappell, yeah. So you know, when you make music, you just do it because you love it, right? Because it's a hobby. You never, you know, you don't think about what could come or anything like that. But you know, I just used to when I first made my album, I just put it on Facebook, you know, just like you do, trying to advertise it, just getting people listening to it, you know, to friends and family, really, and I started getting played on sort of radio stations that sort of specialise in sort of the kind of music I was doing, sort of synth pop music, and there's some great shows I got played on, and I got so many big followers. Do you know what I mean? I just sort of, on Facebook, social media, I just started to get followed and likes and people like buying the album, and I just sort of catapulted, really. And someone on Facebook noticed it, a big German producer called Carlos Perron. He was a founder of the band Yellow, and he used to be in Yellow for a while. Anyway, he heard my stuff, and he contacted me and said, look, I love your stuff. You know, he said, I listen to hundreds of tapes a day, or hundreds of people wanting me to come and, you know, produce their work or master their songs and stuff. And, you know, I take 1 out of 100 a day, if that. And he said, I heard your stuff, and he said, it absolutely blew me away, and I want to do a deal with you. You know, I want to sign you on my label and give you a publishing deal with Warner Chappell. So of course, you know, I looked into it and absolutely, you know, was so over the moon, and just sort of bit his hands off, really, and said, yeah, you know, let's do it. So he signed me up. That was back in 2014. So it took about, I think the album had been out about 10 months for it, and then he came across it and then on Facebook, and then got in contact with me, and then he put my second album out, Dolls, as well. So, you know, to get that as a kid dreaming at 10 years old that you want to do music, and then you know, later years getting that letter in the post with your contract in from the publisher, having Warner on it, it's, you know, very special. Yeah. So yeah, Gravity Zero. That's what the album got changed the name to. So it was released as Red Sky Supernova originally. Then it had to change when he released it, because I got signed. It had to have a new title.
So it's the same album.
It's the same. Well, what happened was Red Sky Supernova was one of the songs on the album, and also the title of the album. So when I got signed, I had to change it because it already existed as an album. So I chose another track that's on the album called Gravity Zero to be the title of the album when I got signed. So both of those song titles are on the album. And then Red Sky Supernova was released as the first single when I was signed. So that's why you've got that. That was the single cover of Red Sky Supernova. What I wanted to write was my first album. I've got an obsession with films, you know, with movies, and I love sci-fi. That's one of my favorite sort of genres of film, is sci-fi. So I wanted to write a big synth pop album of about sort of sci-fi related, and I had it in my mind that there was this astronaut guy that was on a ship on a sort of solo mission, and he hits a red sky supernova, and it takes his ship out basically, and he's floating around in space, and he's reminiscing all his life, his dreams, his aspirations, and everything. And I sort of wrote an album about that kind of story, that context. and that's where the idea for Red Sky Supernova come from. It was all sort of songs based on this astronaut's life, and made it into like a story across the whole album, and turned it into like a synth pop, atmospheric, big sound. Oh yeah, Vince Clarke, Erasure. So before I got signed, I was tweeting all my stuff, trying to get new fans. And I don't know how it happened. I can't really remember, but Vince Clarke messaged me back on one of my videos. So I started following him, and then he followed me, and he just said, "Love the video. Nice white T-shirt," or something. I think one of my videos I was wearing a white. No, he said nice white vest. I think he was taking the mickey. But he just said he liked my stuff. So Vince Clarke of Erasure. So for someone, again, another person of that stature in the music industry to say they like your stuff that you've done yourself, it's just, you just. You're speechless. You don't know what to say. You think, thank you so much. It's so important coming from such a great person like yourself. It's achieved so much. It's just amazing.
Yeah, you are lucky because I miss putting Mike Ashley picture, so I don't need to ask any comment. Last picture with us. صح سامي بتقول شيء؟
No.
Last picture.
So this is me. Long before that, from all the covers bands and that. I was in an Aha tribute band because they were my favourite band, as we've spoken about. So in the 2000s, early 2000s, I think about 2003, 2004, I formed an Aha tribute band I put an ad in Q magazine, which is a big music magazine in the UK, and a guy in Peterborough who's now become a very close friend of mine, Mark Walters. He was a keyboard player, and he like myself is a massive Aha fan, and he contacted me and he come down to visit me on the south coast, all the way from Peterborough, which was about a 2.5 hour drive. And he came with his wife and he saw me, and he said, right, okay, let's see if you sound like Morten Harket then. And so I sung for him, and then he was really pleased, and we both, and I heard him play. He brought his keyboard down with him. He got very excited very quickly. Then we found a drummer, found a guitarist, and then we started rehearsing, and then we formed this Aha tribute band. It was called the Ultimate Aha Experience, and then we went to play sort of 2-hour shows around the south coast. And it was just an amazing time. And that was a photo taken from a club in Worthing, I think it was, which is not far from Brighton. I think that was our first gig, and it was a great success. And people loved it.
You miss these days. You look like you miss these days.
Yeah, I miss those days. It's great. You get a lot of screaming fans.
Okay. If the video is ready, Alwaleed, we can go for it. Yeah.
And you standing there, listen to what I say. It's you that throw away in search of a brighter day. Forgotten like yesterday. It's you that throw away. Don't wanna be thrown away when the dolls come out to play.
What you can tell us, Martyn, about this album?
Yeah, so Dolls is the second album. So I started to be a bit more experimental on this album. So as well as trying to write catchy pop songs, I also wanted to get across on there some songs that are quite atmospheric. So I love atmospheric music. I'm quite into the film composer Vangelis. You heard of Vangelis? He did Chariots of Fire. 1492, Conquest of Paradise, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I just like, and Pink Floyd. So Pink Floyd write atmospheric music with the guitar, So I wanted to experiment and sort of get some atmospheric sounds in there. So there's a song on the album called "I Still Dream of Antarctica," which has got a great guitar solo in it, and that's sort of my tribute to my nod to Pink Floyd, really. But yeah, the Dolls title track is quite interesting. I've always been scared. I was always scared of dolls when I was a kid. You know, the old China dolls with the cracks in their faces. Yeah, I always found them quite creepy, and I sort of tied that.
Halloween. Yes.
Yeah, Halloween. Yeah, I didn't like dolls. My little baby sister used to have these horrible dolls. They just freaked me out as a kid. So I just wanted to write a song about dolls. But then when like, I don't know, when you're a kid, I guess when little girls grow out of dolls, they just throw them aside. I tried to write it differently from a man's point of view of a doll being a beautiful woman. When a beautiful woman, that you're completely in love with, doesn't want you anymore and dumps you, she throws you aside. So that's kind of the twist there. That's what that song's about. Is this woman that just sort of gets through loads of men and just goes around hurting loads of men and just using men. So it was like that, really. So yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I was scared from the picture for me.
Yeah, so
it scares me.
Yeah, that came from Carlos Perro, my producer. Actually had that actual doll's head in his house. It's made by a famous German sculptor or artist. He was telling me, I can't remember now, but it was on a table in his hall in Germany, and it just really freaked me out. I thought, what is that? I just thought it was just such a great sort of such a strange sort of thing to have, and I thought it'd be great for an album cover, So yeah,
amazing. Yeah. Okay, now before I go, quick question: what's your favorite song of yours from Dolls or Supernova?
My favorite song from Dolls.
Tough question.
It is. It's probably.
Yeah, I warned you from Alwaleed. I warned you from his question.
I think it's probably.
You can say pass, yeah. It's okay. You can say pass.
It's probably Skywalker, actually.
Skywalker,
which is track number 10, I think.
That's from Dolls. What about Super Gravity Zero?
Either. Oh, there's a choice of 3. I'm afraid I can't. It's Red Sky Supernova, Gravity Zero, or Little Lie. Little Lie was the first song. Little Lie was the first song that got massive recognition, and it got played on BBC Radio. Yeah. So that was massive for me, and everyone compared that, said it sounded like an Aha song, which was a nice compliment. So yeah, Little Lie is probably the favourite. Then I'd probably say, just scraping it.
What do you feel when they play it in BBC back then?
I got a message on Facebook from the DJ on BBC that was about to play it. He just messaged me on Facebook saying, by the way, my name, I can't remember what his name was now, John Forrester, I think his name was. I've listened to your Little Lie track on BBC Introducing that you downloaded on our site, and I love it. And just to let you know, I'm going to play it in the next, I think it was the next hour. So I just literally so oh my goodness, I got to ring people, and then I just phoned my dad, phoned my mum, I just phoned my friends, phoned everybody. I phoned and the guys in the band at the time, because that was one of the songs I'd gone out and said, look guys, I just want to go out on my own and do it. If we haven't got time, can I just go and do it? They said yeah. So I phoned the guys in the band. They were all listening. It was just a wonderful moment, and yeah, it was amazing.
All right. Now we would like to ask you if you can make us and the fans who are watching us to hear you sing a song, maybe from your choice or your new album or.
Okay. Yeah. What should we do? Yeah, we'll do. We do Take On Me then, aha, because that's probably a song everybody knows. I'll do a quick go. I'll just have a little drink, just in case I... Okay. Talking away, I don't know what to say, I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you, you're shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for your love, okay. Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. There we go.
Very cold, Martyn. Very cold. Amazing. Have you thinking to make a song or write a song about Newcastle or the takeover?
I was going to ask this question.
We've already
You
got
have
Fog
to.
on the Tyne, haven't we? I think that sort of just sums up Newcastle's life, bless them. Fog on the Tyne's all mine, or I'm coming home, Newcastle. I'm coming home, Newcastle.
You
That's
write.
a great
You write.
one. But
Do you write this one?
no, I didn't. Of course I didn't.
Ah.
I think it might be one for the future, though. I might do that one.
Yeah, takeover. You must make something about takeover.
Yeah, do you know what? I was watching, the shows, online, Steve Wraith and others. It's just so frustrating. So I was just so convinced it was going to go through. I still think it might. I still think it's rumbling away.
We have a special part about takeover. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll come to that
I still
later.
think it. Yeah, I still think it might. Because you're not hearing. I think it should have been done in silence from the start. There was far too many people that said they knew about it, and I thought, and to me, it just seemed like there were so many people that wanted it to fail. Newcastle always gets a rough deal, and I don't know why. I think someone posted recently on Twitter. David Ginola was on Sky Sports News recently. I don't know who posted it, but it went all over Twitter recently. And one of the presenters laughed at him when he mentioned when he signed for Newcastle or something about Newcastle. And then David sort of told him off. David Ginola said, "Don't laugh. Don't laugh." So I don't know why it is, because it's such a fantastic club. It's just they are the last sleeping giant to have. If Man City can be taken over, then why not Newcastle? Because they are such a special club. Even when we were relegated, you're still getting 50,000 plus fans at St James's Park when we were relegated. There's not many clubs that could have that. That loyal, die-hard support. And I guess that's what drew me to Newcastle. When growing up and hearing the stories from my nana and my granddad and my dad, they're just such a loyal fan base, and there's not fans like it. They're so passionate, they're so warm. When you go to Newcastle and you meet the people, the Geordies, they're such lovely people. My nan and granddad are from there. Like I said, in the opening credits, you said, they moved down from here in Newcastle after the war to start a family because my granddad couldn't get a job, but he got one down south, so he had to move. And ever since then, the stories, there's just such a special club, and they really deserve it. They really, really do deserve to have it. And I think in 10 years' time, I think it will be the norm. I think most Premier League clubs will be overtaken, by these big, firms or big businesses that be able to put lots of money into the clubs. And I think it will be a much more even sort of level playing field for everybody. It will be a much tighter league because everybody will be overtaken eventually. I strongly believe that. So it will all be fair again. Everyone will be able to buy what, decent players, what players they want to, and it will be, a lot more challenging league. And I think it will be more exciting for that. But I just think that, Newcastle get such a rough deal, and I don't know why. They deserve everything. They deserve so much better. The people are fantastic. They deserve it. They spend their hard-earned money. They work hard, and they want to see a good football team. They want to see their club treated right. And not just the club. I think if the money gets there, it will just be put into the city and the area, which is so important. And I think it's just so wrong with the Premier League to have done what they did to block it.
Okay. let's see and figure out the best 10 players for Martyn Bailey in Newcastle United.
Yeah.
I'm coming home, Newcastle. Ben Arfa all the way. What a goal! Hassan Ben Arfa! A magnificent goal! I'm coming home, Newcastle. Cisse. Oh, that is sensational! Papi Cisse with another blinding strike. Home, Newcastle. Gutierrez! Can there be a more popular goal? Newcastle, I wish I'd never been away. Shearer! Oh, special! I'm coming home.
I was expecting Big L to be number one for you.
He was number one. What was number one? Sorry, I missed. Take it
Alan
back. Can
Shearer,
you take it
yeah.
back? Alan Shearer was number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So let's just start from number 10 then, shall we?
Yeah.
10.
Stephen Glass. Stephen Glass. So he's a bit of a wild card for me for number 10. But
You thought it was the opposite?
yeah. So Stephen Glass, I thought he was a midfielder, and he was absolutely brilliant. I don't think he gets talked about enough. He has such an amazing shot, and he always used to score these most spectacular goals. From so far out, sort of 30, 40 yard shots, and that's what I remember most of his goals being like. It's such a good long shot on him, and I was just so impressed by his left foot. Stephen Glass, and he was in my top 5 goals, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
So Stephen Glass, my number 10, Scottish player.
Because I have a problem with the videos regarding the goals. I can't play the goal because they will block the video. I'm afraid it happened to me before.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So before we're talking to the next part, let's say the goals. If you have comment about it, Martyn.
Yeah. So number 5.
We'll play it later in the Twitter account. So number 1 goal is the final against the Spurs, semi-final.
Yes. Yeah. So Alan Shearer then. Watching it live at the time, we drew after full time with Spurs. This is in the semi-final of the FA Cup, so we're trying to get into the final at Wembley. And it went into extra time, and Silvio Maric, he was an awful player. Sorry, I had to say that. Terrible he was. I think that's the best pass he ever did. I think that's the best thing he ever did for us. I think that pass to Shearer. So he passes it to Shearer just outside the box, and Shearer just sort of strokes his foot across it with so much power. He just hits it, strokes his foot across the ball, so it sort of curls with power, and it goes right up. It hits the top right hand corner underside of the bar, and just goes in. And honestly, when the commentator says, he says, Shearer, you dreamt about that last night, and I was off. I was running around the dining room table about 6 times, and I run out into the patio, out into the garden, and just running around for about 5 minutes, because of the meaning of the goal, is to get us into the final. So, and it's such a spectacular goal, because when the ball hits the bar, it makes it more spectacular, doesn't it? When it hits the underside of the crossbar, it just makes it more spectacular. So that for me was my favourite goal ever, and what it meant as well to get to the final. That was my number 1 goal.
Do you remember the final? Who was it against?
It was. I think it was against. Man United, Arsenal or Man United. We did it 2 years in a row. I think it was either Arsenal or Man United. We played Arsenal first, and the next year we played Man United. But we were awful in both finals. We didn't turn up. It was awful. So we don't talk about that. We just pretend the semi-final was the one that
mattered. Okay, second goal, David Ginola against Ferencváros.
Ferencváros. Yeah. So this was in the UEFA Cup. UEFA Cup in '96, I think it was. And honestly, this was quite hard to choose between number one and number two. So, but because of the importance of the first goal, that's why I got number one. But number two, this was just, I think it was just like a normal leg match, to get into. I think it was just a group match, just to get the most points. So, you had to win it, but it didn't mean everything. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So I can't remember who took the corner, but the corner came into the box, and I think it got flicked on to Ginola. So the ball hadn't touched the ground just from the corner. So the ball came up and over. It got flicked on to Ginola, and he sort of chested it, then sort of hit it on his thigh, down to his thigh, and span round. The ball still in the air, and just with his left foot hit it on the volley, and it went in straight in the top right-hand corner. The best goal I've ever seen in my life. Just absolutely stroke of genius. Absolutely brilliant. But that's what he was. David Ginola was just he was an artist. Just brilliant.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see these goals. I will put it in a video later on the Twitter for these 5 goals we chose.
Yeah.
Number 3, Stephen Glass, Derby County.
Yeah, so I spoke about him earlier. So he's my 10th favourite player. So, yeah, the ball comes out. I think it gets cleared or gets passed to Stephen Glass. He's about 30, 40 yards out from the goal, and he just hits it with his left foot through a mass of players. Doesn't hit any of the players. It just goes straight in to the left side of the goal from about 30, 40 yards out. It's amazing. Yeah, you need to watch it.
Hatem Ben Arafah. I think is it the one? I think is it the one from the middle field? He ran.
Yeah, so he practically takes it around nearly the whole team and just puts it in the net.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that already.
It's like a
Amazing.
Roy of the Rovers goal in the comic. It's just of dreams. It's just brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it's amazing goal. Last one is Martinez against the Spurs.
Yeah, so the man I met in the toilet, Obafemi Martins.
Okay.
So it was away at Spurs. So we're playing at Tottenham, and he comes across. Ball gets passed to him. He gets to the edge of the box and he just hits it. So the pass comes across, and it's near the edge of the box, and he just hits it. And I don't think I've ever seen the ball hit so hard. It just flies into the top left-hand corner. And to watch it, because he comes out of nowhere. He hardly lifts his leg up either to get that much power because he hardly lifts his leg up. He's got so much little time to hit it because there's a defender coming on him. And he just hits it, and with hardly any back lift, and the power he gets in it is just phenomenal. And it's like a rocket going into the top left-hand corner. Amazing.
Actually, your way to explain the goals with the signs is amazing, Martyn. Okay, Sama.
Yeah. Okay. Newcastle this season.
Okay, let's move to Newcastle this season. You catch the games lately, Martyn?
Yeah, I've seen them all. Yeah.
What do you think in general Newcastle performance this season, including the last signings and the transfer window?
Yeah, so I think the transfer window was good. I think it was to be expected, really, in terms of how much was spent. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't do anything on transfer deadline day, so I think we could have got a couple of good loans in. So I don't know why we didn't do that. But no, Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser, Jeff Hendrick, brilliant signings. Gillespie's doing okay as well in goal. But I thought we started well against West Ham. I think that was nice to do that. To get a win, their first game. I did think we would win that because I think West Ham had a lot of issues. And it's first game of the season as well, and I just thought with the signing of Callum Wilson, he proved to be the difference as well in the end. He got that nice sort of goal, didn't he? Knock on from Carroll. But then the second game, I just thought, it just blatantly said to me that Bruce hadn't done his homework. Brighton had done theirs. Lamptey, we just couldn't handle him. We hadn't done our homework on Lamptey, that right back from Brighton. He just stormed up and down the wing. He's sussed Maximan out, sent Maximan out, and I think once Maximan got that knock, we were 2-0 down, and he pretty much been injured. I think he wasn't. He just thought, I'm not going to get anywhere today. I might as well go off. I just think they'd just been absolutely sussed. Brighton had done their homework, and we hadn't. It was that simple, really. We just got beat bad. And
You
then
support
obviously we made up.
Brighton? You support Brighton or Newcastle?
Yeah, but I'm really Newcastle. As a kid I supported Brighton, but now I'm not one. My dad's really torn. He wants sort of, I think because we live in the south, I think he's more Brighton now. But me, I was like, no. I had a bit of a fallout with my dad, going, "Don't talk to me, Dad. I know Brighton won. Don't talk to me." I was very upset. But yeah, so that wasn't very good. And then we had the 7-0, obviously, against the lower league side in the cup.
The Carabao Cup.
We needed a performance like that. We needed it. So I was very, very pleased with the answer, the way Newcastle came out and answered their critics there after that defeat against Brighton. We needed that.
We did all right against Burnley.
Yes, again against Burnley, it was just again, I think Brucey, and it helped to have Maximan back as well. And I think he wanted to prove something. So I think a few fans had got on his back a little bit that he went off injured too easily, but then he was properly injured. So I think he went out there and he was really up for it, and it was a nice touch, wasn't it, for him to go over to Steve Bruce when he scored as well. That was a nice sort of good man management there. That to see that. But Callum Wilson again, I think he's been a big difference. He's really up for it. He seems to be really up for it, and it's made him really hungry again. It's a new challenge, and I think he's really embracing it. I think he's loving being there in Newcastle. I think there was that video Andy Carroll posted. They seem to be getting along quite well, quite quickly. Of Andy Carroll saying, "Bringing Bournemouth over to Newcastle with Ryan Fraser and Callum Wilson," and Richie there eating his dinner. So that was a good touch. It was nice sort of team spirit going on already.
What's your expectation for the coming game?
Well, I think Man U are on the ropes a bit at the moment. I think I could see us winning that. I think we might nick it sort of 2-1. I think we're going to win 2-1.
Yeah, I have issue now. Small issue that I said before. I am Manchester
You support
United.
Man U, Yeah.
Yeah, I make a confession in Steve Wraith first time he hosted me, and now.
I know. I saw that. I was watching.
Yeah.
I was watching.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very difficult for me because now I am supporting both. So
Yeah.
I hope at least they will draw.
Alwaleed, you could say the story of your support to United, how it started.
Yeah, it's funny story. You'll like it, Martyn. Actually, and I didn't see it with details.
Yeah.
Actually, I said before that we are supporting English teams, Premier League, like it's our national. It's like our
league.
Our league. For example, I was supporting like Manchester United. It's like we are from Manchester United. This is how strong we are in this support. Before we didn't have channels view our games, view Premier League games before. Yeah. I was talking about the 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
Early 90s, there was no, maybe just some sport show. Yeah. So for me, I was like, I have a newspaper. My father always bring it. Really? Yeah. So I always check it. The last page, always Premier League news. So
sports in general.
Yeah. And there is a word, I like it. I always like Manchester. The word Manchester, I like I like how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
And there is when I was a kid, there is a Japanese Captain Rabih, Japanese sport football. I don't know how it's named in England. I will come to that later. This cartoon, I like it. There was a player who played in England, but they always talk in Arabic. So they call it the Wolves in Arabic. So in my mind, Wolves is mean Manchester, because I was a kid and my English wasn't so good. So I thought Manchester, it means Wolves. See how this complicated.
And that sounds pretty cool to a kid.
Yeah. So I thought this meaning it's Manchester United. After that, we become. You remember PlayStation 1 days? PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1, yeah.
I always play. Yeah, I was back then play FIFA, and I think I have with a CD, I get a poster.
Yeah.
For it was for me. It was for Manchester United, so I hang it in my wall.
I should have put that in the bin. Alwaleed.
Huh?
You should have put that in the bin.
No. I put it. Wait for it. It's getting better. I put it in my bed for maybe more than 1 year. And later on, I discovered it wasn't Man United. It wasn't Manchester. It was Arsenal. Yeah, it was Arsenal.
Oh dear.
So yeah, with David Seaman, if you remember, yeah.
Bergkamp.
You know, Dennis Bergkamp. But
yeah.
before, I didn't know English, and we didn't have information.
He was a kid.
Yeah. It was funny. Yeah, so after that, I realized that Manchester United. But for me, I support Newcastle as well, because at 1998, Saudi Arabia, before World Cup, for preparation, we play against England. It was an amazing game. It was 0-0, 0-0. And our legend, Samuel Jabir, we call him Alan Shearer of Saudi Arabia. He was playing against Alan Shearer back then. So it was a tough game. And when I know, I look forward. I was looking for Alan Shearer when he played. He was playing Newcastle. So I started to like Newcastle back then. And also, I remember, I think 2002 in Champions League.
Champions League, yeah.
Yeah, Champions League. Newcastle played against Juventus. And I remember a statement from Marcello Lippi. He was, I think, coaching Newcastle, coaching Juventus. And he asked Trezeguet and Marcello Salas to study Alan Shearer's style of play as a lesson, and I remember that very well. Very well.
Maybe you remember this game, Martyn, right?
In Champions League, I think last time I think Newcastle played in Champions League.
Yeah.
So this is my full story. I never see it before. I just see it tonight.
Excellent.
So let's okay. So your expectation for United next game? Because why I'm asking? Because I know Manchester United very well. After this beat from Tottenham, I am afraid that they will explode against Newcastle.
It could be another 5-0. Halloween.
Like 1995, huh?
1996.
96.
Yeah, October 96, that was. I still watch it now.
Oh. Actually, I believe tomorrow Mr. Steve Wright will make a retro show for this game. Especially talking about this game. Yeah, it's going to be excited. Okay.
Do you remember that game? Do you remember that game, Alwaleed?
What I just told you, in 97,
96.
I was... No, 97, I think I always on the newspaper only.
Oh, right. Okay, you just missed it. Oh, yeah, you were lucky. You would have been crying.
Yeah, see, I'm lucky. No, I just start support
You're lucky you
United
missed
maybe.
that. It was a
90.
thrashing.
I think 1998 maybe I start. So
Yeah.
that's 2 years early.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about Carabao Cup. Do you think we are close against Brentford in the semi-final? Sorry,
Yeah, I
quarter-final.
think. Well, yeah, I think that'll be a tough game. There's I don't know if you know, but there's a striker that plays for Brentford that used to play for Newcastle, Ivan Toney. So he will be relishing playing us, I should think, because obviously he signed for Newcastle, and obviously things didn't work out, so he's ended elsewhere. But I think he will, be trying very hard to beat us.
He's playing or coaching Brentford, you mean?
Yeah, he plays for Brentford now, but he used to play for us. And we sold. Yeah,
see.
so I think we bought him in as a youngster, and he didn't really get a chance, as much chances as he should have done. So he went out on loan a couple of times, I think, and I think he's ended up at Brentford now. He's sold him to Brentford, or he's gone there after. I can't remember where he went, but yeah, he plays for them now. So he will try and. He would try and beat us, I think, but so that gives you that extra sort of fizz. But no, I think we will do it. I think we will beat them. I think it might be very close, but I think we should do it.
Yeah, hope at least we go to final and we see you run around again.
Yeah, hopefully.
The FA Cup. Sorry, that's not the FA Cup. This is Carabao Cup. Yeah.
It's Carabao Cup. It's a quarter-final, isn't it? If we beat that, we'll be
Yeah.
into the semis, which will be amazing.
Yeah, but I believe if we win this cup, we will go to Europe League.
No, not
Right?
this one, I think, right?
I think
it
it is. Yeah.
I think FA
Really?
Cup.
What for just to get into the semis?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
if we
win the final,
game,
if you win the final, you get to Europe. Yeah, you
get
do.
to
Yeah.
Europe League.
Okay.
Last time,
If you win the
last year,
Carabao
I think,
Cup, you get to Europe.
last year I think Manchester City went against Villa, if I'm not wrong, 6-0. No, 2-1, I think. So before, okay, I would like, let's say the top 10. Oops. The top 10. See, Everton, Aston Villa, surprisingly, yeah. Leicester, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Leicester, Newcastle.
Yeah.
And number 10, I think, West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still early. Okay, let's say the lower 10. Southampton, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Manchester City, Brighton, Man United.
Man United.
Oh God! Everybody will catch me on this now. West Bromwich, Albion, Burnley, and Sheffield. Oh, Sheffield is 19.
It's United. Yeah.
The last is Fulham.
Fulham.
Yeah.
Fulham. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Fulham been shocking.
who you think will win the league, or what's your top 4? End of season.
I say Liverpool again. I think Liverpool will win it,
Okay.
and then Man City. Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham.
Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham.
Okay, yeah, similar. I think Tottenham for the 4th position. Yeah, Arsenal for 5th.
And Newcastle will finish maybe
6th.
Oh, come on. 6th?
6th. No. I'm joking. No, I reckon. I'm going to say
win the league, but I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm going to say 9. I can say 9.
Yeah, 9th. Yeah.
Where they are now.
Top 10.
Hoping. Yeah, top 10 for a change.
Yeah.
Better than 13th.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all for discussion this season.
Okay. During the international break, should we talk about the takeover?
Yeah, we talk a little bit about it, but maybe just.
Yeah, Martyn.
I think it's gonna.
Go-
I think
go
it's
for it.
gonna. I do think it will still happen. I think things are still rumbling on. I think the lawyers are involved now, and obviously it's nice and quiet, which is how it should be. Yeah, and there's lots of code with loaves of bread and Newcastle brown ale stacked up in champagne, and I really don't know what to say about that. Really, I can see both sides. It's just a bit weird, but it's very funny. Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, now-
I think it's.
now,
it's rumbling on, but it's being done how I think it should be. So we won't know. There'll suddenly be a massive announcement, and then that's it.
At last hours of the transfer window, they put Nick DiMarco. He put this picture. So for me, it was weird timing, just before the transfer window. So and everyone was
Before we signed
making-
Vilka,
right after, I think, right after.
after we signed Vilka. Yeah, I know. I know. It's very
But
strange.
do you think this is have really code or just imagination? What do you think? Your opinion.
I think it's very clever. I don't know. I just think I don't know. I really don't know. I can see both sides. To me, yeah, it looks suspect, doesn't it? It looks like there's someone's trying to get a secret squirrel message out, as they say in the UK, secret squirrel. But yeah, I can see why loads of fans just went, "Way," and started opening their cans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just a little bit cautious. I'm just going to wait in the wings. I do think it will happen. I think it's being done properly now. I'm not hearing anything, and that's the way it should be done. I just do think if it is or it isn't, there'll just be one massive announcement going, right, it's done, or right, it's off. But I really do think it's done. Will be done because everyone's put so much effort into it. It's been going on for so long, and I think it really needs to happen. Not just for the football side of things, but like I said earlier, for the area as well. It's so important. It's such a big thing for Newcastle to happen, and they deserve it.
The funny thing is, everything now, Nick DiMarco was something. All of us try to crack the code. So this one as well, I didn't get it. They said something about not dead underwater, but actually I don't know what that means. If you have idea.
It's a black and white. It's a black and white picture, mate. That's it. It's black and white. So yeah. it's in black and white. So.
Yeah, and so I was trying to update to catch up, and I saw DiMarco put this today, I think. So I think you can't make it related.
What is that?
I don't know.
haven't seen that one.
I said maybe
What
there is
is
a code there as well. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't
maybe,
think Amanda Stavley would be very happy with that. That's supposed to be Amanda.
No, maybe Richard Master. Maybe.
Maybe Richard Master. Yeah, when he goes out on the weekend.
Yeah. See, it's funny. Yeah, but as comment on takeover, we talk about it lately a lot actually, and Steve Wraith said about it that the long or the how much is quieter. That is mean in his opinion. It's a good thing. The quieter, the better. So I am really with that as well.
Yeah, I agree with him. Yeah, definitely.
And if there is negative, they will come and say it's not gonna happen. But as long as it's quieter, that's mean there is talk behind what.
Yeah, and I think Amanda Stavely's husband posted the Rick Astley video, didn't she? Never going to give you up. So this one. That's a good. That's a good message. That they're not going to give up that easy. So, I think fingers crossed. I think
of course
6 months time. I think maybe we'll all be celebrating and it will be a new lease of life for Newcastle, and we'll
hopefully
back where we belong.
The giant, sleeping giant, wake up.
They are a sleeping giant, and they absolutely deserve to be up there. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, and when that happened, we need a song from you, Martyn.
Yeah, well, I'm actually trying to write a football themed song about winning something, being champions. So I'm trying to. I'm not going to tell you the title because that's secret at the moment, but I am trying to write one that's about winning something. So maybe I'll save it for that.
Okay.
Very cool. We look
Very
forward to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have something?
No, just the last update before we go to fans question.
Yeah, the latest news. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Latest news we have today. Okay, we have the Premier League confirms latest interim broadcast arrangement for supporters. They said the 5 matches per round not will be selected on the. It will only be available pay-per-view basis. And we have a report from Sky here.
Right, some breaking news into us. The Premier League today confirmed all fixtures until the end of October will continue to be made available to fans to watch live in the UK. Under these new arrangements, the current live match selections will remain in place and they will be broadcast as normal. But in addition to that, the 5 matches per round not already selected will be made available to supporters on a pay-per-view basis, accessed via BT Sport, Box Office and Sky Sports Box Office and Sky Sports Box Office platforms. Clubs today agreed this interim solution to enable all fans to continue to watch their teams live. Now, the Premier League has worked closely with Sky Sports and BT Sport to provide this arrangement. Is grateful for their support. The agreement will be regularly reviewed in consultation with clubs and in line with any decisions made by the government regarding the return of spectators to stadiums. Very important subject we're discussing at the moment. The Premier League have said this: football is not the same without supporters at matches. The Premier League and our clubs remain committed to the safe return of fans as soon as possible. An updated broadcast list of matches, we understand, will be announced later today.
Mark Douglas comment today, but this is the Newcastle versus Manchester United game moved to 8 p.m. next Saturday and now listed on a Sky Sport Box Office. You have comment, Martyn, regarding the force,
I think it's awful. I think especially if you're a season ticket holder, it should be free. It's just, I just don't know what's going on in their heads really to do that. It's disrespectful. I think it's just not on. I just think supporters have paid their money already. They've lost so much already during this pandemic.
Exactly.
It should just be free.
What is the reason?
They just want more. They greedy over needy. They greed for money. They just want to make people.
Weird.
It's like they already pay for the channel, but they just like special games pay more to watch it. This is how I understand it, right, Martyn?
Yeah, it's being greedy. It's greedy.
Very greedy. Our player Miggy, he have injury maybe yesterday, but hopefully I'm trying to find his update on his injury in the neck. But hopefully
y allí directo prácticamente al cuello de Almirón. Mirá, una trompada eso es. Si revisamos VAR, Pitana, Zambrano se tiene.
He played yesterday.
I'm surprised he got up from that, to be honest. That could knock someone unconscious, that kind of challenge.
But the weird thing, the referee went to VAR and they just gave him a yellow card.
No, that was assault, wasn't it? Really, you do that in the street, you get arrested. So it should have been a red card all day long, really.
Yeah, but he later he get up and play, but hopefully he will be ready for Manchester United game.
Yeah, he's got over a week, hasn't he, to get ready.
Yeah, hopefully he's well. Yeah, this is just the latest, Sam, about it. Before we go to fans questions, some comments here. They ask, they didn't say your biography at the beginning. They missed it. I will just play it again. And after that, we have like 20 minutes for the question.
Okay.
Martyn Bailey grew up on south coast of England after his grandparents moved from Newcastle to Brighton after the war in late 1940s. But they're still loyal to Newcastle United and supported as a family-first team. His obsession for Newcastle United started with the stories he heard about Kevin Keegan from his father and his grandfather within the years, and he witnessed Newcastle United win almost won the PL season 1959. Music passion started in the school. Martyn started the journey to his dreams to become a pop star. In 2000s, he was in a tribute band, starting to write songs too. In 2013, he recorded his first solo album, Red Sky Supernova, which includes the song Little Lie Song. In 2014, Martyn signed by Warner Chappell, which releases the official album with the new title Gravity Zero. His second album, Dolls, released in 2015, and now working for his third album, and we wish you a great luck.
Are you ready, Martyn?
I'm ready, yeah.
All right. Quickly, take over. We'll talk about take over. Evening, Alwaleed, Martyn. Who are your favorite bands and singers? What are your favorite album and songs of all time? This is from
Okay.
Keith Rod.
Okay, so favourite bands are probably a-ha, U2, and Depeche Mode. So singers, Morton Harkett for me all day long, just got the best voice I've ever heard. He can sing really low and he can sing very high. Just amazing, like vocal Olympics. What are your favourite album and song of all time? Okay, so favourite album is probably Scoundrel Days by a-ha. And favourite song of all time is probably The Sun Always Shines on TV.
That's a quick answer. The evening, lads. What's your view on Premier League charging for games, lads? We talk about that.
I think they're shocking. Absolutely awful.
Newcastle United, Manchester United, the Alwaleed derby. I shouldn't confess, right?
2-1 Newcastle, I reckon. I'm hoping.
I think it was a mistake to confess. But anyway,
no, it doesn't matter.
I want to try honest. Oh my God! No, this is no. That's a rumor. No. Okay. Next Saturday night, I went party. Like, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you considered make party online during this epidemic, Martyn?
So
Or a concert? Sorry, concert. Yeah. Some artists
I have considered it. I have considered it. I might do it next if we go in lockdown again. I might do a half-hour show or something.
Hunting High and Low by a-ha is amazing. Classic song.
Yeah, that's an amazing song. Quick story on that. Paul Wakhtar in a-ha, who wrote that song, he's the guitarist and songwriter, main songwriter of a-ha. He actually, when they made it, started to make it big, he was missing his girlfriend, so that's why he wrote that song. She was in America at the time, so it was the distance between him in the UK becoming this big, we're about to become this big sort of band, that he wrote Hunting High and Low because he was missing her so much. So it was about the distance between him and his girlfriend. That's why he wrote that song.
All right. Last question, Martyn. When is your third coming album? When it will be released?
Okay, so I'm about to go in the studio and record it in the next couple of months. So I'm hoping it'll be out sort of push maybe Christmas, if not in the new year, very early in the new year. I'm just about to go in and record it.
Before the new year?
I said possibly it will come out at Christmas, but at a push. But if not, it will be out in the new year.
We're looking forward for it.
Yeah, I have a question, Martyn. Is it easier for you? Yeah, is it easier for you? What is easier for you, to be in the stage or go to a show?
Go to a show, of course. Performing is very, very nerve-wracking, because everything has to go right, and I'm very hard on myself. I have to, I have to give it everything, and if something goes wrong, I get, I sort of worry about it. So it has to be exactly perfect. So it can be quite stressful. I always say, if you don't get nervous before you go on stage and there's something wrong, you should always be nervous. No matter how long you've been doing it, you need to be nervous. So that adrenaline helps you perform better, I think. It makes you ensure you give your best performance.
Okay, yeah, and the question for you, Alwaleed, you're going to support Newcastle next game, right?
Of course.
Yeah, it's good. Good to hear that. Okay.
He didn't believe
Put
me.
him on the spot there. He's squirming in his seat there, bless him.
All right. Okay.
Okay, Martyn, it was a pleasure to be with us tonight.
It's been a pleasure to be with you guys. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we'd like to thank you. And thank you, Alwaleed, also.
Yeah, thank you, Martyn. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
thank
guys.
You guys. Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Meet us next week. يتجدد لقاءنا الأسبوع المقبل. شكرا على المشاهدة.
Hey, next week we'll have Spinny Mag for next week.
Excellent.
Looking forward to it. So
That'd be
stay
good.
tuned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's just my little way. And you standing there, listen to what I say. It's you that throw away in search of a brighter day. Forgotten like yesterday. It's you that throw away. Don't wanna be thrown away when the dolls come out to play.
I'm coming home, Newcastle. Ben Arfa all the way. What a goal! Hassan Ben Arfa! A magnificent goal! I'm coming home, Newcastle. Cisse. Oh, that is sensational!